we talk business.
Okay, let's talk business. What do we have today?
Okay, so hello and thanks for joining me for a quick look at this week in business here in the Morning Call. I am Amelia Martha Nachtimbo. So where are we in terms of economic advancement as a continent from last year? Quick response, looking downwards, but not for long. Well, growth in sub-Saharan Africa has been lowered to 2.3% for 2018, down from 2.5% in 2017. That's according to the latest issue of Africa's Pulse, the World Bank's biannual analysis of the state of African economies released this week. Now, this slowdown, which is made in comparison with the rate of population growth, is attributed to a difficult start in the first half of 2018. If you remember, for example, oil exporters like Nigeria and Angola had it rough with prolonged low oil prices relative to recovery until late May 2018, when the global prices spiked to a record $80 per barrel. In South Africa, another major economy, a recession and the corruption scandals at the core of the Jacob Zuma presidency played a major role in undermining investment. But there are other factors, as the World Bank's chief economist for Africa explains.
This slower than expected growth comes from both domestic and global factors. Globally, a volatile economic and financial environment, which is also characterized by rising trade tension, but also recovering but uncertain commodity prices, are having a negative impact on African economies. Although we expect growth to recover to 2.8% in 2019, this is barely above population growth. Sustaining inclusive growth remains the biggest challenge we have in sub-Saharan Africa.
So from 2.8% this year, growth is projected to gradually hit 3.3% in 2020. It's important to remember that this slowdown reported is not, in economic growth is not isolated to sub-Saharan Africa and the African continent for that matter. Africa's Pulse duly notes that central banks in the United States and the United Kingdom, France, Germany have also lowered their 2019 growth projections, quote, in light of weaker than expected activity data. And in the East, China is seeing a weakening economy due to slowing industrial activity. Now, though global financial prices are said to have improved and commodity markets are broadly stable. Now, back to sub-Saharan Africa, there are obviously other reasons that have contributed to slower economic growth, and these become more visible as you zoom onto regions and isolated countries on a case-by-case basis. So what is the way forward? The World Bank's chief economist for Africa believes that the region could boost annual growth by nearly 2% points by harnessing information technology more efficiently. Take a listen.
The digital revolution can unlock new pathways for inclusive growth and job creation in Africa. In fact, our most recent Africa's Pulse finds that the benefit of the digital economy are significant for sub-Saharan Africa.
And for this digital revolution to take place, there's need to significantly improve access of data to a bigger part of a population. The argument here is that digital transformation has the potential to encourage entrepreneurship among the youth, increase farmers' productivity, and create markets on national and regional levels. And that's all for business this week here on the Morning Call. There are other interesting developments to keep an eye on. For instance, in the three largest economies whose performance significantly affected this April 2019 report, Nigeria seems to be moving on after pulling through the February presidential elections. South Africa's turn is coming up in May. Will ANC's Cyril Ramaphosa come back and concretize investor confidence? How about the corruption allegations against the people that he is associated with? And the purge in Angola? Look out for the updates here on Africa News and africanews.com. I'm Amelia Martha Nachtimbo. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.